source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
This morning, some exciting news to share with you from Lincoln Public Schools. The district just unveiling a new tool to make sure you and your kids stay in touch with what's going on at any moment. And with school starting tomorrow for kindergartners, 6th and 9th graders, it couldn't come at a better time.
We've never had an app before, so this allowed us to try something new with this app. It's not the only place where you can go to get information, but it's just one more tool.
Yeah, all those details are coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of LPS, though, it's a jam-packed final Board of Education meeting before the first day of school. They'll be discussing a nearly 4.5% pay raise for transportation employees tonight. They'll also consider an agreement with the city to provide 16 school resource officers, also a threat assessment officer for the September 1st of this year until the end of August next year. The board is also going to vote on the superintendent's goals for this upcoming school year. Make sure to tune in tonight at 10 to hear what Dr. Skretta has to say as well before classes begin. Meanwhile, tonight, Waverly is kicking off their school year with an open house starting at 6. 9th to 12th grade families are encouraged to attend for the opportunity to meet their teachers, hear important information from staff, and of course, check out their Chromebooks before the year begins. First day of class for kindergartners over at Waverly as well. And 6th graders and 9th graders is tomorrow, then everyone else on Thursday. And with the school year getting underway, some of our citizen journalists are handing out advice to your students before they head back to class.
My advice for the students going back to school is to remind them to be nice to their teachers and that the teachers are there to help them and they want those students to succeed.
That's some great advice right there. Also, make sure you're downloading the Now Local News app and tuning into Channel 8 every morning and evening to make sure you are prepared for whatever the school day has in store. We are following the stories to help your kids stay healthy and safe this year. We're also following the forecast. You know, we got to know what your kids should wear that day. Make sure you use the QR code on your screen to get off the school year right. Speaking of weather, let's go to a live look now at our Allen Communications. Karen, beautiful cloud cover right there. Well, not necessarily cover, but beautiful clouds, sunshine, very warm temperatures. Let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's go look at our first forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. Those would be some stratus clouds, maybe some stratocumulus clouds, a little bit of a low to mid clouds, and so the sun might not be able to peek through some of those, making it partly sunny. We have warmed up this morning in the upper 80s for some. Check out the low temperatures. We warmed up about 10 degrees from our low temperature. We only got to a temperature of 75 in Lincoln, 77 in Hebron, so it was pretty mild. We're at 86 right now in Lincoln, 83 in Omaha, so about the low to mid 80s for southeast Nebraska. Further north, upper 70s, they're not quite at that 80-degree mark. What's the hottest temperature we have out there? It looks to be us, 86 degrees. Moisture, it's primed off in eastern Nebraska, and the heat index is getting into the 90s. You can see we feel like 91 degrees here in Lincoln. That's all going to increase going into these next few hours thanks to these little south winds, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Some gusts maybe near 20. Satellite and radar just showing those streaming clouds, but no precipitation, maybe a little bit of a light rain shower in far southeast Nebraska. Temperatures for the rest of today in the lower 90s and then dropping into the 70s. There's the severe weather for tonight. And then there's your Wednesday. Now this looks to be a wind and hail threat and a whole lot of rain. So I'll show you the whole forecast in a few.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Right now, Gage County is proposing plans to revamp their detention center. Supervisors are on a time crunch. They have until September 1st to put those plans on the November ballots, but there's hesitation for some. Channel 8's Daniel Da Silva speaking with community members on their thoughts.
I think we need to answer as many questions for the public as we can.
Sheriff says he knows the community wants and needs this upgrade. One reason, reaction from a grand jury after an investigation into the county jail concluded.
Two comments that really stood out. One was they like to see a medical professional 24/7, 365 in the jail. And they like to see basically a new facility, or at least this one upgraded immensely.
Chris Hatfield is from the Nebraska Crime Commission, specifically Nebraska Jail Standards Division.
This jail right here does not meet what we call Chapter 15. Those are our new jail construction standards, and so they don't meet it on square footage, and there's different things where they don't meet it.
Also in the room, part of the design team explaining plans, but also constraints they're facing.
Jail Standards Committee are not the only authority that have the oversight of this. There's the State Fire Marshal, the Nebraska Accessibility Board. They also have the ability to find faults and find reasons to cease operation here.
Most community members also giving their 2 cents. Randy Schluter concerned about location.
They build something that is functional for 2026, and it is going to be functional in 2050 when it's still used.
Stan and Judy Meyer concerned about cost.
And we know when it's not your money, it's so easy to spend.
Yes.
So we're concerned about the taxes going up, and we still have a fire department that's not completely paid for.
Danielle De Silva for Channel 8 News.
New at midday, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office handing out badges to new deputies. The new law enforcement officers joining LSO after completing the academy and successfully going through field training. Now they can finally be called deputies. During the County Board of Commissioners meeting this morning, authorities pointing out the critical mission that now awaits them and the greater meaning of the badge.
A law enforcement officer's badge is perhaps the most visible and recognizable symbol of policing around the world. It represents the enormous power and responsibility law enforcement officers are entrusted with by the community that we serve. It's seen by many as a sign of authority, sacrifice, and service.
8 deputies in total taking the oath of office and vowing to serve and defend the country and the community. Sheriff's Office says other deputies also made it to the agency but were not present at the ceremony this morning. Only on 8's an architectural and a religious staple in Lincoln seeing some renovations. After over a century of standing strong across from the state capitol building, St. Mary's Catholic Church is undergoing some major changes. Our Skylar Sears explaining what's coming.
For more than 6 decades, white paint has covered St. Mary's Catholic Church in downtown Lincoln, and now it's coming off.
Once we got into the removal, we recognized what a tremendous, beautiful building this is. It's really an architectural gem, you know, and you can see all the ways in which it was kind of intricately put together and designed, and it's just lovely.
The work is part of a restoration that began in 2021. Crews are removing the peeling paint, cleaning more than a century of buildup, and repairing brick, stone, and mortar. And underneath, they're uncovering details that haven't been seen in decades, including the original brick and red sandstone. Walsh says seeing those details is what led to the decision not to repaint the church. But there's a reason it was painted white in the first place.
They added the 2 stairwells in the 60s, and they couldn't find the matching brick. And so the easiest way to make the whole color scheme of the church be one color was by painting it.
The building's history dates back to 1888, when it was originally built as First Christian Church. The Diocese of Lincoln bought it in 1904, and after a fire 2 years later, much of the church had to be rebuilt. It later served as the cathedral for the Diocese of Lincoln until 1965. Walsh says the church remains a recognizable part of downtown Lincoln.
People experience, I come over the viaduct on K Street, and the first thing I see is the Capitol, and you see the towers of this beautiful church, you know. So it's kind of a welcoming landmark in the city of Lincoln.
Reporting in Lincoln, Skylar Sears, Channel 8 News.
Breaking now, the Powerball numbers are in and the jackpot is growing. Here are some of those numbers: 6, 37, 54, 55, 64, and the Powerball is 10. The prize is now just under $1 billion at $975 million. The cash option is just a casual $422 million. Even our citizen journalists are getting in on the fun. No winner has been announced, with the next drawing set for tomorrow night. We'll keep you updated. Now to Husker football. Channel 8 is at practice right now for the first time this camp. The Huskers are opening up a portion of practice to the media this morning. The Big Red are now in their 2nd week of camp. The team has posted several pictures and videos on social media so far, but today our cameras are there. Sports Director Will Charlton is at the Hawks Championship Center right now, getting his first look at the Big Red. You can tune in tonight at 5 for his full fall camp report, plus download the Now Local News app for exclusive videos. And don't forget, all of the Kansas City Chiefs NFL preseason games are right here on Channel 8. Their first matchup is against the Los Angeles Rams. It starts at 3 o'clock our time this Saturday. You won't need to touch that remote to catch the beginning of the Chiefs NFL season. Coming up after the break, a Good Life ranking. Find out what perks make Nebraska a top 20 state on a list of places offering a great life.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we are a personal injury law firm that brings a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Next DT, it's a Camp Rock reunion. We're with Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers. Plus, Howie Mandel's Hollywood past that shocked Nikki Glaser.
I'm sorry I didn't watch that show while I was in utero.
Next.
Weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
Transform your home when you shop at Menards. Plus, get an 11% rebate. For your toughest jobs around your home, Gorilla Glue has the sealants and adhesives you need. Grab a tube of Max Strength Construction Adhesive for a value of $9.78 after rebate. Transform your bathroom with our great selection of Lion showers, bathtubs, and surrounds. They're easy to install and keep clean. This Wave seated shower is a value of $669.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Sleep better and save now during Comfort Made Mattress Factory's Spend More, Save More sale. Spend $1,500, save 10%. Spend $3,000, save 15%. Spend $4,500, save 20%. Let us make your perfect mattress right here in our locally owned store. Any size, any shape, any comfort level. Backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. If your comfort needs change, we'll come to your home and adjust your mattress. Because when you sleep well, so do we. Come see us today. Sale ends August 20th. Comfort Made Mattress Factory at South Point, next to Shields.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots. We are a personal injury law firm that brings a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Right now, a study finding which state is the best to live in. Wallet Hub says it's Idaho, looking at factors like affordability, economy, education, and health and safety. But as you can see from this map here, Nebraska is not too far off. Top half of the country, Cornhusker State coming in at number 20. Wallet Hub says we rank 14th for economy, 17th for education and health, and 27th for safety. According to this study, New Mexico is dead last, followed by Louisiana and Mississippi. Well, scientists are creating chewing gum that could protect high-risk people from mouth and throat cancer, and the FDA is moving forward with tighter restrictions on food ingredients. Jane King explains in today's Wendell's Report.
The Trump administration unveiled new transparency rules for food ingredients. The new proposed federal rule would ask companies to notify the FDA when they introduce the new substance into food products and provide information on why they consider it safe. The move appeals to food safety advocates who've long decried what they call a secret system. President Trump has issued an executive order that calls for American children to be immunized against 11 diseases rather than the 17 recommended by the CDC. Moderna, considered the most vulnerable as its mRNA vaccines are used for COVID and flu prevention in children. Merck could also be hit as the order heavily targets combination vaccine shots. And scientists may have developed an easy way to stop one of the most aggressive and common forms of head and neck cancer that often starts in the mouth and throat. And all it would take is popping a piece of bioengineered bean gum in your mouth. The New York Post reports on a study that the bean sharply reduced one virus and 2 types of bacteria linked to the disease. And previous studies have found that daily oral maintenance, regularly brushing and flossing, could drastically reduce the chances of developing head and neck cancers. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
It's hot and it's muggy. What those two components will equal a little bit of storms and severe weather, and we have that in the forecast. Show you that here in a few.
It's not always about hitting the right notes. It's about a career
now, the urgent search for survivors after a catastrophic earthquake in Colombia. This morning, at least 24 people have been killed, 224 people have been killed, and around 500 more injured after a 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit the South American country. We first brought you this as breaking news at midday yesterday. Now, crews are searching the rubble here left behind in multiple cities for a sign of life. Officials warning the death toll will keep rising. ABC's Rena Roy reports.
It's a race against the clock in Colombia, where rescuers are searching rubble for any signs of life. Entire apartment buildings splitting open, collapsing, trapping people under debris after a 7.4 magnitude earthquake rocked the country Monday. This 6-month-old baby covered in dust pulled alive from the rubble. And this woman pulled through this hole in a hospital that partially collapsed. She was tied to a rescuer who then rappelled down the wall to safety. Thousands of structures across multiple cities destroyed. This man walking through a neighborhood in the city of Cali that was flattened, saying he's speechless over the loss. You can see the moment the quake hit, travelers at the airport taking cover under a counter, part of the ceiling falling just feet away. Silvana Botero, who lives in Chicago, was visiting family in Medellin when everything started shaking.
Like, I just hear like some shaking, and I'm like, I hear my mom screaming like, oh, there's an earthquake.
The injured lining the streets, aid groups stressing the need for help.
The epicenter that was Chocó is very known for its poverty, so a lot of people are in need right now.
The president of Colombia has declared an emergency to expedite funding for recovery. The U.S. alone has promised more than $15 million for emergency shelter, food, and other aid. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
As we take a look at the 12-hour radar loop, here's 1 a.m. this morning. You got a little bit of storms right here. And now watch what that does. It just moves towards Iowa, all through Iowa, and now it's over Chicago. Quite a bit of tornado warnings, even some reports of 90 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts. So that missed us, and it even just clipped northeast Nebraska. Look at the wind threat for today. You can see in this area where the storm's already passed, 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. In the red down here, though, 75 to 85 mile per hour wind gusts. Here back at home, we do have a chance for some severe weather, as we could see once again another overnight threat in northeast Nebraska. 65 to 70 mile per hour winds, and then the further south and east you go, about 55 to 65 mile per hour winds. Even hail. These are going to be isolated storms as we go into the nighttime hours, and those could have a little bit of golf ball to baseball size hail. The better chance for larger hail up towards Cherry County and then Kippahaw County. Right now, we're dry. We've got a little bit of cloud cover just across the state. We'll see a few isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms develop about 5 to 7 p.m. Now, there's an area right here of interest, and then up towards really Cherry County, Kippahaw County. That's the area I'll be watching. As you can kind of see the cloud right here, it kind of did that little layer that the SPC outlook was. Indeed. So those isolated storms will try to hang on, try to strengthen, but the better chance is actually going to be overnight tonight, midnight to 2 a.m. We'll see another little cluster of storms move in through the Dakotas, and then that's going to be really where your threat will begin, about the winds and the hail going through O'Neill about midnight to 2 a.m. It goes down towards the southeast, and if the low-level jet can continue its strength, it can continue just like what we just saw, but it should weaken as we go into about 3 to 5 a.m. Still a little bit of gusty winds near Columbus, Grand Island, and then out towards the Omaha Metro by the morning time. Maybe a little bit of isolated rain showers also. That brings us into our Wednesday. We do have a chance for some widespread winds and hail as we go into Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Here is Wednesday afternoon. You saw that band of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. There's going to be a front right down here, and there's going to be a big factor on what that does for our storm potential. Here's Wednesday night. All right, we're going to have a few isolated showers, storms across eastern Nebraska in the afternoon. But now the severe weather threat is going to start off towards the southwest, even up there towards north central Nebraska, 7 to 10 p.m. Wednesday. It all moves towards the east-northeast right about there. There's a spot I'll be watching up there overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Notice southeast Nebraska, though. We're going to be a little bit missing out on the weather. And then Thursday morning, taking the kids to school, maybe a little brief shower thunderstorm. Here's Here's a look at the rain totals all the way through Thursday afternoon. Big band north of I-80. Notice south of I-80, oof, not looking good. We got plenty of other chances though. Here's a look outside. A little bit of upper level clouds, 86. Moon's not out. For the rest of today, temperatures the lower 90s and the heat index values climbing up to the triple digits and peaking around maybe 110 in some spots. 7-day forecast, storms likely Thursday morning and then again on Thursday evening. Friday storms possible, Saturday, Sunday. We hang in the 80s, no more 90s after about Wednesday, and then next week we could have a little dry spell.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Tonight, you may have a chance to view 6 planets at once with the naked eye. Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune will all appear overnight tonight and into Wednesday morning. The parking lot at the Heritage Center over at Homestead National Historical Park in Beatrice will remain open tonight and Wednesday nights to let people experience the planets on display. A meteor shower also might peak Wednesday night, and viewers can expect to see up to 100 meteors. The Homestead National Historical Park says to remember your flashlights. Still ahead this morning, a big change coming to vaccines for kids. Find out what a new executive order from the president means for families and why health experts are challenging it.
McDonald's is
Up in Washington to change how children are vaccinated. Trump signing an executive order recommending the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine be split into 3 separate shots. Doctors and medical experts now pushing back, saying the new suggestions are not backed by science. ABC's Olivia Rubin has those details.
Today, doctors pushing back on President Trump's new executive order overhauling the child vaccine schedule.
There is no new science evidence research that has come out or emerged that is pushing forward these new recommendations.
The order calls for fewer childhood vaccines, now recommending children get vaccinated against 11 diseases, down from 18. It also recommends splitting up the measles, mumps, and rubella, the MMR vaccine, into 3 separate individual shots. The vaccine is currently only available together in the U.S., not separately. The American Academy of Pediatrics coming out against the recommendation, saying children will suffer.
If we end up not giving the same kinds of vaccines that we're giving now, children are going to end up contracting diseases that they could otherwise avoid, and some % of those are going to die.
HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a longtime vaccine skeptic and continues to insist without evidence that vaccines are linked to autism.
There are decades of research, millions of individuals studied across multiple countries. There has been no link found between autism and vaccines.
And President Trump claiming the MMR vaccine is, quote, lethal. But when pressed, he didn't provide evidence to back up that claim.
Is there any evidence of that? Because anyone in the
what I've heard is that there are some people that say it is that way.
Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, a doctor, pushing back, saying the order will, quote, make children less safe and is, quote, wrong. And Senator Cassidy urging parents to talk with their doctor before making any decisions instead of listening to what he describes as an inaccurate order. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Still have this midday changes on the trails, the safety concerns, and what the community is proposing to hit the brakes on the growing misuse of e-bikes in Lincoln. New details now. A long list of changes up for discussion on Lincoln's trails. The city is looking to pump the brakes on people who aren't using trails the right way. A bicyclist explaining what's changing and why education is essential. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson has the details for us.
The biggest problem we have is people don't know what's allowed on the trails and what's not.
On Monday, the Lincoln City Council hearing public input on a bunch of proposed changes. The new amended guidelines will help the city align with state regulations, and officials are hoping it will clarify what can be used on trails around town.
These have been ongoing conversations with law enforcement and parks. We want to provide some clarity for the public on the types of devices that they're owning, where they can be used, how they can be used.
The new rules say that no gas-powered vehicle is allowed on a city trail, and it defines 3 different classes of e-bikes. But Edith Madison, the president of Great Plains Bicycling Club, says there's more work to be done to make the trails safe.
The simplest solution, my opinion, is that they just make the speed limit 20 miles an hour, first of all, not 25. Because there are 2 categories of e-bikes that can go only up to 20 miles an hour. And that would make them, okay, that's clear. You can be on there with that e-bike because it doesn't go more than 20 miles an hour.
She believes education will help people understand the difference between an e-bike and an e-moto, which runs solely on a motor and can go more than 30 miles an hour. And she hopes these new rules are a step in the right direction. The City Council is expected to vote on the changes in their meeting next week. Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
Well, it'll be a little warm for a bike ride right about now. This is our ABC Seamless camera. We got temperatures already in the 80s out there, and it's humid. Let's get on over to meteorologist Houston All's got an updated forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. Yeah, it brings me right back to my roots in Texas. Got that Gulf moisture. Oh, gee whiz, it's such a stereotypical man, right? No, but it is definitely moist out there. You can feel it. And we got a little bit of a breeze helping with that. Beatrice, we got a whole lot of blue skies, a little bit of upper level clouds trying to mix in with those that sunny sky. 86 in Hebron, 84 in Hebron. Our highest temperature, 88 out towards Aurora. Further north you go, the upper 70s, not quite 80 in Valentine, Chadron, and then 88 in Ogallala. McCook needs to catch up just a bit. You can see where all the moisture is. We're talking those low to close to mid 70s. Further off towards the west, they even have a little bit of moisture. Look at that, Ogallala and North Platte, lower 70s for dew points. So the moisture is absolutely just spreading its way across the whole state. We're already feel like temperatures in the 90s for much of eastern and south central Nebraska. Here's a look at that satellite and radar. You can see the clouds streaming about northwest to southeast, a very cool sight, and then far southeast Nebraska, a little bit of thicker clouds. Here's the threat for severe weather today. It's actually going to be an overnight threat. And then Wednesday into Thursday, my goodness, are we going to get some rainfall and even some severe weather? Share the whole forecast, man, weather.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. New developments in Nebraska. The Democratic Party is suing the Secretary of State to keep a newly formed party off the November ballot. We're talking about the Working People Party. Jane Klebb, the chair of the Nebraska Democratic Party, saying this, quote, "Working people in Nebraska know who's actually fighting for them, and it's not a fake party built on stolen branding and Republican signature gatherers." We're reaching out to the new party for comments, and we'll let you know when we hear back. New at midday, we're learning details about President Trump's escape amid potential danger. New reports this morning saying that President Trump took a secret flight out of Turkey last month amid assassination threats from Iran. ABC's Martha Raddatz explains.
It was at the NATO summit last month in Turkey where this all began. Concerns so high that Iran might target President Trump on his trip home that the president, the press corps, and White House staff boarded the older, more secure Air Force One instead of the newer Qatari-built jet. But this morning, the Washington Post reporting President Trump quickly sneaked off the plane and into a catering truck before boarding a smaller, far less conspicuous military aircraft to begin the journey home.
This type of a protective move is usually done with the utmost secrecy. Very few people actually know what happens, and it really goes to the secret in the Secret Service, which is often when it does its best work.
In video recorded that day, you could see as the president walks up the steps to Air Force One, waves goodbye, and as the camera pulls back, there is the catering truck just below the plane. Then 5 minutes later, the press boards Air Force One off to the right, while the catering truck pulls away, reportedly with the president inside. The truck is then seen pulling up behind another military aircraft parked behind Air Force One. The president had flown to the NATO summit on the new Qatari-gifted aircraft. Then the Secret Service had decided to fly everyone home on the older blue and white model. All three planes, the Qatari-gifted jet, the Legacy Air Force One carrying staff and press, and the military craft reportedly carrying the president, landed in Britain. It's there that the president is reportedly secreted back on to the Legacy aircraft, where he was seen by cameras again deplaning and boarding the Qatari-gifted jet. Before leaving Turkey, the plane carrying staff and press corps had its transponder shut off and had been directed to close their window shades.
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was not usual. Well, yeah, because you're probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleaze bags that we have to deal with.
Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Washington.
Developing now, it seems like we're finally seeing some much needed rain after a very dry spring. Here's the latest drought map from the states. Nearly all of Nebraska is in some sort of level of drought, anywhere from moderate to exceptional. The problem, though, for some farmers, we didn't get much rain in March or April, and that hurt in getting pastures started. Now, this is causing some farmers to change up their normal routine and how they feed their animals. Our Emma Norwood speaking with some local farmers about what they're doing.
Across Nebraska, farmers have been dealing with less moisture than they've needed, causing pastures to look like this. Combined with the high heat, it's made keeping that land productive even more difficult.
Our pastures were a little short this spring when it didn't rain so much early. And so a lot of the cool season grasses didn't grow like they should have.
Tom Peterson, a farmer just outside of Lincoln, is having to pivot when it comes to what they're feeding their cows. They're now having to use some of their own crops in what's known as green chopping.
Doing it green, you have to take and chop it and feed it right away. So you only chop as much as maybe they're going to eat in less than an hour. And I think 20 pounds is where we started with, and we might go with a little higher amounts because they clean it up pretty fast. They're not short, they got grass yet, but we're trying to supplement them and get them all the way through the fall. Otherwise our grass will be gone before we get to corn stalks.
This green chopping helps provide the nutrients the herd needs, and although there is more work involved, it's a cheaper alternative, especially with rising costs across the board.
There's other ways to feed, but we're kind of short on those products this year too, just because of that spring setup. We didn't harvest as many grass bales this year. We don't harvest as many alfalfa bales this year. All those products that we normally bale are short. Times are a little tough, even in the cattle side. The cattle prices are good, but still the products are short, and so the input prices go up because things are short, so it kind of drives the price up a little bit.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Right now, Southeast Community College is launching a new brand called Let's Do More. It's the college's first ever brand platform, saying it captures who they are, a college for people ready to build a skill, a career, and a future. School officials say Let's Do More isn't just a slogan, it's an invitation. They say it's about expanding pathways, removing barriers, and making SEC the place where high school graduates, career changers, or lifelong learners find a clear and supported path forward, releasing a promotional video on their new brand.
An SEC grad had an expert who did more to build them up, to focus their drive, to shape their resolve. At Southeast Community College, you'll do more than build a career. You'll build the place you call home.
SEC says it supports more than 11,000 jobs and contributes more than $1 billion in annual economic impact across its 15-county service area and the state. Coming up, a heavy levy. Find out how much the U.S. is now having to pay China in tariffs in order to export our pecans to the country. bonds with a big tariff. Energy stocks carried the stock market on Monday. Here's Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
The energy sector was up 4% on continued uncertainty with Iran. In the U.S., West Texas crude gained 5% yesterday to close above $82 a barrel after Iran restated the conditions it once met before the Strait of Hormuz opens, and the oil complex went with it. Well, China ordered steep anti-dumping deposits on pecan imports from the U.S. and Mexico, citing the result of an investigation. U.S. pecan sellers must pay a 54% tariff on the nuts sold in China. China's president is scheduled to come to Washington in September. Well, the Trump administration unveiled new transparency rules for food ingredients. The new proposed federal rule would ask companies to notify the FDA when they introduce a new substance into food products and provide information on why they consider it to be safe. The move appeals to food safety advocates who had long decried what they called a secret system. And here's some good news about food prices. Poultry prices are going down. Poultry companies are producing more chicken than consumers can buy, depressing wholesale prices. In fact, wholesale prices for boneless, skinless chicken breasts are down about 37% from a year ago, according to FactSet. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Here's a look at this morning. You see this storm right there? It's going to move through Iowa. And then what's it going to do? It's going to come right through Chicago. Tornado warnings going into parts of Illinois and Indiana. And that could have been right through northeast Nebraska this morning. Check out the damaging wind threat, though. You can see the red 80 to 90 mile per hour gust. And then up here towards Nebraska, right there, 65, maybe 70 mile per hour wind gust. It's going to be the exact same sort of pattern that we just saw on that 12-hour loop. We're going to have some storms dive down from the Dakotas. It's going to go just like this. And it's going to be ejecting off towards the east. We could see a little bit of 55 to 65 mile per hour wind gust across eastern Nebraska early tomorrow morning. And then we could see a little bit of hail up to baseballs as we get those first initial cells going into the overnight hours. I switched the model to the NAM, and it's just showing a little bit better of the sort of intensity, okay? We're going to have a few isolated storms try to develop earlier in the evening time, 7 to about 10 p.m. out near North Platte. But now you can see they're going to have a cluster of storms out here towards Cherry County, and all of those could have a little bit of hail within them, as these are just going to be little single cells moving around. They're going to dive down towards the southeast near O'Neill and parts of Ainsworth, even right there just north of Broken Bow. That's going to start your damaging wind threat. Could see some gusts within all of this, 65, maybe even 75 mile per hour gust. As we go later into the overnight, early Wednesday, 3 to 6 a.m., starts to weaken as it moves towards the east. Still a little bit of gusty winds here across Lincoln, even Omaha. We could see some gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Omaha might be on the edge of 60 miles per hour, hint the risk for that damaging wind potential. And then Wednesday afternoon, a little bit of light rain showers. Wednesday night into early Thursday, definitely the whole state will see some type of rain and storms. You can see a slight risk, and that's going to be a damaging wind threat going into the overnight hours, Wednesday into Thursday. Here's Wednesday afternoon. You saw that little band of some rain showers. That's going to try to push up through eastern Nebraska Wednesday afternoon. The main threat is going to start off towards southwest Nebraska, even out towards the Sand Hills. This is about 7 to 10 p.m. Wednesday night. That's going to take a little east to northeast track. Notice southeast Nebraska down here, not really seeing many storms. If you drew a line from about here, Grand Island, over Lincoln, that might be the safe spot, to say the least. You can see that is going to have some damaging winds north of Grand Island, midnight 2 a.m. Thursday, even up there towards northeast Nebraska. Headed out the door Thursday morning if you want to get an early start, 2 to 4 a.m. There's where the storms will be north by 80, out by 8 a.m. Taking the kids to school now that school will be in session. Rainfall potential all the way through the times I just showed you. Notice southeast Nebraska, not much rain, but north of I-80 you can see bands and swaths, half an inch to an inch and a half, maybe even 2. We got a breeze. We got some upper level cirrus clouds. It's 86 degrees. And for the rest of today, we'll top off in those lower 90s. Cloud cover should keep us a little bit on the lower side of the 90s. Heat indice and feel like temperatures feeling like the triple digits all through today. We try to cool down Wednesday, a little bit of increasing cloud cover, 90. Now then, Thursday morning is going to be a busy one across much of the state of Nebraska due to those showers and thunderstorms. And then going into the week, still looks warm with some rain and storm chances.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Still ahead, a major fundraiser coming to Lincoln very soon. How you can get involved. We speak live at the Friendship Home of Lincoln next. Fundraising event is coming soon to Lincoln. You can get involved. Here to talk about it is Danny Juergens. She's with the Friendship Home of Lincoln. Thanks for stopping by today, Danny.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So Illuminates, this is the big event for you guys every year.
It's our big year, so this is our second time going around with this event, but it's during Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October, and it is our way to raise awareness about domestic violence as well as provide support for those that are staying in our shelters.
How can people get involved?
They can get involved by purchasing tickets just to come and hear about what it is that we're doing at Friendship Home. They can purchase tickets, they can volunteer. If they would love to sponsor, we're looking for sponsors still as well.
Absolutely. What exactly will they be supporting if they do decide to come help you guys out?
They'll be supporting, all of the services that we're providing on a day in and day out basis to survivors of domestic violence and their children. So those that are walking through our doors, they're being provided advocacy and crisis services, case management support, and Illuminate is really to raise awareness about that and raise those funds.
This is the second time you guys have done this, because before it was Safe Quarters,
yes.
Right? So what did you like about it last year, and how are you guys looking to improve the event this year?
Yeah, it was a new and different and exciting way to be able to spread the word of what we're doing, as well as we had a live auction that brought in quite a bit of excitement for people. We do experience packages that we're going to be giving away during that live auction, as well as just mixed in with the environment of the Rococo and learning about what Friendship Home provides.
And that's October 22nd, right? What time?
Yes. October 22nd, the doors will open at 5:30 p.m.
Already awesome. We're in back to school season. I don't know if that makes a difference for you guys or not, but
yes.
how does that impact everyone of the Friendship Home of Lincoln?
It impacts us quite a bit when you have over 100 children that you have staying in our shelters every single day. So just thinking about those school supplies that they're really needing, clothing, that is a big one that our kids are really needing in our shelter right now.
What sort of clothing items are you guys really, is it everything at this point, or is it specific things?
Back to school shoes, those new shoes, and everybody always wants to start thinking about the fall wear that they're going to need. Any kid sizes, male, female.
Raincoats, because I know it's a possibility of rain for first day coming up here as well.
Yes, yeah. Umbrellas, raincoats, and any of that gear.
Already sounds good. If people want to buy tickets and they want to help you guys out, where can they go?
They can go to friendshiphome.org and click on the events page to learn more more about Illuminate.
Already sounds good. And again, that's October 22nd. What time again?
At 5:30 at the Rococo.
Already awesome. Well, it sounds like a great event, a lot of great cause, obviously. Danny, thank you so much for stopping by today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Everyone, stay with us. Trending now, a bittersweet moment in the cycle of life. That's especially in the animal world. Jackie, the famous big bear bald eagle, the wind beneath so many of her followers' wings, has passed away at the age of 14 after a brave health battle. ABC's Danny New reports.
This morning, people are remembering the matriarch of perhaps the most famous eagle family in the world. Over the past few years, Jackie, Shadow, and their annually expanding family have attracted millions to the live cameras run by a nonprofit called Friends of Big Bear Valley. But Monday morning, Friends of Big Bear Valley and the Ohio Raptor Center shared that after weeks of undergoing treatment for an illness, Jackie has died at the age of 14.
It's been a tough day. It's been hard for our team. Lots of tears, lots of memories.
Late last night, I spoke with Jenny Voisart, a spokesperson for Friends of Big Bear Valley, who says their website nearly crashed yesterday with all the outpouring of love for Jackie. Since early 2025, the birth of eaglets like Sunny and Gizmo has led to a huge wave of attention being brought to Jackie and Shadow's home in California.
I put up some flyers around some different businesses.
So earlier this year, when the Eagles' hunting ground was under threat to be turned into luxury homes by a developer, schools like John Baldwin Elementary started helping to raise the necessary $10 million by July 31st to save that land.
It will never be developed on. And we were only able to do that by the sheer power and love of all the people that watch Jackie and Shadow and care about them.
But Jenny said she can't help but think right now of the founder of the live cam, Sandy Steers, who passed away earlier this year. Sandy had been following Jackie since she was born almost a decade and a half ago. And here's what she told me last March about what it was like seeing Jackie and Shadow soar to worldwide fame.
What I'm most thrilled about is people connecting with nature.
Of course, Jenny says she keeps getting asked what Shadow is going to do. And as she told me, nesting season is not usually until late fall. So we won't really know if this 12-year-old is going to move on and where for quite a while. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Well, happening today, the city of Seward is issuing caution as a wide load moves into town. Hillcrest Homes with Bennett Truck Transport are moving a house into Seward today. It'll enter west on Highway 84, then go south down at Columbia Avenue. There are no street closures, but they are asking those who live on South Columbia not to park on the street during the move. Traffic may be delayed in certain parts, and drivers are encouraged to use different routes. Well, let's take a live look outside here at our Barry Law Tower camera. It's already hot and humid outside. Houston's chuckling at me already. Let's get a final check of the forecast coming up after the break.
Thinking about buying a new couch?
Or replacing an appliance? You can save hundreds of dollars on a variety of items.
So before you buy,
give Salvage Warehouse a try
for huge savings.
ABC's lifetime seamless steel roofs lock out the harshest weather and provide permanent maintenance-free protection for your home. Protecting your home starts at the top. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
A career in broadcasting is rewarding and exciting. Local broadcasters make a difference in people's lives every day. Join our industry. Attend the KLKN TV and Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair, Tuesday, August 11th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Whether you want to be on the air or behind the scenes, many exciting jobs are available right here in Lincoln. Visit our booth at the KLKN TV and Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair, Tuesday, August 11th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln.
After Pete Ricketts made himself even richer in Washington, he's lying about his opponent to stay there. Because lifelong independent Dan Osborne will fight corruption, pass term limits and age limits, and stop politicians from insider trading. Osborne will stand up to liberal Democrats to defend gun rights and secure borders and keep boys out of girls' sports. Veteran, independent, Dan Osborne for Senate. Working Class Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We have a challenge for you. Don't buy anything before visiting Salvage and Warehouse. First, take a walk through the store.
You might find exactly what you're looking for.
Take the Salvage Warehouse Challenge today.
Oh, the hydrating's already started, Houston.
That's right. Yeah, I love water, and you know, it's been my best friend these last few days. Today, your heat indices will top around the triple digits. We're already starting to see that, but we do have a chance for some storms going into tonight. It's going to start out towards Cherry County, drift down towards Ainsworth near North Platte, Columbus, Grand Island. A little bit of gusty winds, 50 to 60 miles per hour. And then tomorrow morning, as you're headed out the door, we could get hit with a burst of wind, maybe about 40, 45 miles per hour here in Lincoln. Alrighty, the 7-day forecast, Wednesday night into Thursday, widespread showers and thunderstorms across the state. Cools us down for a bit, and then we'll get some more rain and storms all through this weekend.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA 3 is coming up next. Hope you have a great start to your Tuesday.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we bring a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join. KLKN is bringing you the best quality newscast. Whether it's breaking news, community concerns, or the stories shaping our future, we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Our team is always there, bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage, dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local, trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
Green's Furnace and Plumbing has continued to be your trusted, locally owned and operated plumbing and HVAC professionals for over 100 years because of you, our loyal customers.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you, Lincoln.
Whether it's through your plumbing or heating and air needs or giving back to the community like sponsoring Lincoln Youth Football and the Capital Humane Society, we look forward to continuing the tradition of our family serving your family.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Start your morning at 5, 6, and 11 a.m. with Andrew Ward.
It's time for GMA 3, Race Against Time to find survivors. After the catastrophic earthquake in Colombia, more than 130 are now confirmed dead. Amidst the widespread devastation, we are on the scene in Medellin. What do you get when you combine job searching and doom scrolling?
I just couldn't stop thinking about how there'd be a missed opportunity.
It's called doom jobbing, and it might not be great for your job journey. We're going to tell you how to avoid it and stand out from the pack. And, oh baby, the boom taking over Hollywood. Anne Hathaway, the mother of maternity looks, rocking the red carpet. Plus, news about new mama Aubrey Plaza. And why John Hamm's house is over the moon this morning. It's time for GMA3.
Put your hands up. Hello, I'm Rebecca Jarvis.
And I'm Will Reeve here with Gio Benitez. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday.
That's right. I love that John Hamm name, right? It's so good. We've got a great show ahead here, including the cast of The Shards. It is such a fun show. They're bringing us back to the 80s with their new drama. And they sat down with Rhiannon and Allie to share the inside scoop on one of the hottest shows streaming this summer. And believe me, it is hot.
It is. So is the soundtrack. That's what really brings me back. Plus, we've got a deep dive into the mysterious disappearance of a family of 4. And Ashan Singh is here to tell us about his new true crime podcast.
All right, and we do have a lot of news to get to today. We're going to start with the desperate search for survivors after that catastrophic earthquake in Colombia. The death toll climbing after one of the most powerful quakes there in more than a decade. Faith Abube is on the scene in Medellin with the latest. Hello, Faith.
Well, we are in country. However, we are making our way to those devastated areas. Right now, we're in Medellin, where you can see that there are people who live here. There are people who actually felt the quake here yesterday. There were buildings that were shaking. People had to run into the streets for their lives. It's actually further down south where all that devastation, those dramatic images we've been seeing are coming in from. We've seen those flattened buildings, the people trapped in those collapsed buildings, as well as the dozens of people who are now dead.
The desperate search for survivors across Colombia after a massive 7.4 earthquake rocked the country Monday. The deadly earthquake, the most powerful to hit the country in more than a decade. Entire apartment buildings seen splitting apart, leaving clouds of dust and rubble. At least 61 buildings collapsed and over 1,600 homes damaged or destroyed. Residents seen fleeing as structures around them crumbled. In Cali, at least 20 buildings collapsed, rescuers using their bare hands and buckets to scoop debris as they search for any signs of life. Amid the devastation, a remarkable rescue. The 6-month-old baby, covered in dust, pulled alive from the rubble. And a woman is seen being pulled through this hole in a hospital that had partially collapsed. She was tied to a rescuer who then rappelled them both down the wall to safety. Travelers at the airport taking cover under a counter, desperately waiting for the shaking to stop. Parts of the ceiling falling just feet away. In Manizales, video capturing parts of this historic cathedral collapsing, one of the spires falling sideways. More than 220 people now dead and at least 572 others injured, with those numbers expected to rise.
And guys, Colombia is now under a national emergency. There is help coming in. In fact, the U.S. has now pledged more than $15 million towards emergency shelter, some food, and other aid. Guys.
My goodness, Faith, that video is so unbelievable, and our hearts and thoughts are with all of those families right now. Faith, thank you for your reporting there from Colombia. Now to growing concerns about the nation's food supply, as multiple foodborne illnesses are causing outbreaks across the country, and Elizabeth Schulze has been tracking this story. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Gio, these foodborne illness outbreaks are creating a lot of confusion in the grocery aisle. Now some of the nation's biggest grocery stores are racing to pull products with jalapenos off their shelves as the FDA warns of a salmonella outbreak that's made hundreds of people sick across 27 states. Walmart, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and Target recalling some guacamole dips and salsa with jalapenos. Kroger, Albertsons, H-E-B, and Walmart also pulling meat and poultry products with jalapenos like wraps, burritos, and enchiladas. Now, many of these voluntarily recalled jalapeno products, which are so far not tied to any positive salmonella cases,